All right, guys, welcome to the show. The stars today, Bejarano and Fedor. Aston still asleep, man. Sunday morning, it's raining. Just want to get an informational video out. What's going on, guys?
Nice to be here. Nice somber day. Weather coming down, rain coming down.
A lot happening, man. There's a lot going on.
A lot going on all the time, man.
Oh, busy.
Hey, let's start with one of the first topics because it was out in the Fresno Bee.
Right.
And it was about Selma Unified and Foggy Day schedules.
Now remember, we're just three parents. We're three citizens here talking.
Yeah. So you're on the board, but you're not doing this
not,
as any kind of board business.
Nope.
This is just us.
I'm also
parents.
a citizen. This is very similar to when Scott, remember, Mayor Robertson.
Yeah, when he does his thing.
Step down and talk at the podium as a citizen. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah, this is just Dad's talking, man.
Let's talk about that Fresno Bee.
All right, that Fresno Bee. So there was a snapshot that I got, and it says, "Will Selma schools end Foggy Day schedule?"
No.
No one's ever said that. Well, no one officially has ever said that.
Right.
So I think there's a lot of misinformation out there because they were trying to change it, or they're actually negotiating trying to change it, according to that article.
So
right?
my understanding is that the district is trying to end the Foggy Day schedules for teachers, for the certificated staff. Because remember, here's how a Foggy Day schedule works now.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Everybody shows up except the teachers, the certificated.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So classified shows up, the cooks show up, the custodians, and
everybody's there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
all for doing
thanks, guys.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I show up to my job on time, you guys show up to your
get a
job.
Foggy Day?
No, hell no. He's driving big rig in the fog, man.
Right. So right now everybody shows up except the certificated teachers.
Yeah.
And schools are open.
Schools are open.
So if you're a parent and you've got to get to work like we do, right? You've got somewhere to take your child, drop them off, and they are being taken care of. They're being fed. They're being, they're.
Yeah. So schools take care of them.
They are not getting taught anything.
No. So that's kind of like the whole thing, right? The district wants the teachers there. Now, here's an important part. They're getting paid for it.
Whether they go or not.
Whether they're there at 8 or 9 or 8 or 10.
Right.
So this is all. So I was there when this kind of started. So this all came about. Oh, go ahead.
So I, as a parent, I'm able to drop off my kid.
Yeah. If you're
at
going to
school, if I'm going to work.
Yep.
At 8 in the morning.
Yep.
Currently.
Yep. And that's one reason why it started, was so they didn't want kids staying home because the parents weren't going to take them to work. Or some people were actually dropping the kids off and they'd be outside.
Nowhere to go.
Because they're not actually open.
Or the same thing though, you said you could bring your kid if you want it, or the same thing, or the opposite rather, if you don't feel safe bringing your kid at 8 o'clock,
It's excused.
it's excused.
Yeah.
You bring them later. You bring them when you think it's safe. So it's really giving the parent
The choice.
The parents.
Yeah.
Empowering the parent.
Empowering the parents.
That's
awesome. So basically, so when I was there and they started making this move, it was Mr. Bejarano, the buses, they called the Foggy Day, the buses are going to run late.
Right.
Mr. Bejarano, if you're going to go to work, you want to drop off your son, you can. Let's say he's walking to school. If he's walking to school and it's a foggy day for the buses and you look out the window, it's not foggy, you live pretty close by and he walks, hey, you can go ahead and go if you want him to. Now, if you open the window and let's say it's real foggy, or you decide, hey, it's foggy, man, they already called it for the bus, I'm going to keep them home until 10. Hey, fine, you call the school and you let them know, hey, it's dangerous. I feel like it's dangerous.
Right.
I'm going to keep them home. It basically becomes now you as the parent making that decision.
And the student's excused.
You'd be excused for that time. Yep. Yeah. So you're not going to get in any trouble for that. So basically empowering the parent. There's nothing wrong with that. So I think where people get kind of the hang up was people were saying, hey, it's canceled. And it was never. No one ever mentioned canceling.
Well, it's a half truth. See, this is the sneaky part about the propaganda, right? That's coming out. Is it's a half truth. Technically, it is going to be canceled for the certificated staff. They no longer get to stay home and get paid. They will have to actually show up for work.
Yeah. Right. So for them, but you got to remember, this whole thing is not. It's not supposed to be about them.
No, it's about the kids.
It's about the kids and who you work for. Do you work for the kids? You work for the parents.
Kids are priority.
Yeah, kids are priority. And you're working for Mr. Bejarano. So
For you?
Yeah, for all of
Yeah.
us. So if Mr. Bayerano's taking his kid as an example, I'm going to work, you're going to go to school, it's open, boom, I'm taking you no matter what. So
That's awesome.
yeah, the school should be open for the people they work for. I mean, unfortunately, there's some pushback from
yeah.
basically a union.
Mhm. Yeah.
But how is it that one group gets to stay home if there's a foggy day called, but yet everybody else has to come? That's not even fair. No one really thought about it until we started thinking about, or we heard what was other things that were going on.
Well, the school used to be, it was lights out. Nobody would. It wasn't even open. They would turn you away if you showed up before the 10 o'clock time.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And so now they're open, right? So
Right.
now it's open. And then right before that started, was it maybe over a year ago? Right before that started, there was a lot of, from one of the unions, well, from the teachers union, we had some of their leadership saying, hey, if you open the schools, it's dangerous, you can't do it, bah. And then we opened them, but then they didn't talk no more because they still got to stay home. I'm thinking,
Right,
in my
right.
opinion, because they stopped talking about the schools are open now. Whoever wants to take their kids.
Yep. So it's never been a question of canceling canceling foggy days for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
It's only making sure that all of the staff, all of the employees, certificated, classified, everybody's
Management,
management, that everybody's there ready to take care of our children.
That's it. Who they work for.
Right.
We work,
Exactly.
we work for us. So anyway, that's the foggy day.
Yeah, foggy day. That's
So basically, a parent, what it comes down to is it's basically going to be the parent's decision if it's called.
right.
If you're not
That's
a
awesome.
bus rider. It's right.
That's
Who
awesome.
doesn't like that? You
That's-
decide.
That's what's happening.
I mean, and most parents go to work early, so
So yeah,
why not leave your student, son or daughter at
at school where they can learn.
where they can learn?
Yeah. Doesn't even make sense why anybody would push back
Why
on.
is that even an argument?
Yeah. Now, if I was a worker that didn't have to come in, and now I'm being told to come in, I could see why they would be upset.
Well, yeah.
I mean, because they're used to not doing it.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to come in where I'm getting paid anyway to stay home.
Well, yeah. If I get paid to stay home, I'm going to stay home. You know. I mean.
Yeah. And then there's something else. I heard somebody say something along the lines of sometimes they call the foggy day because of what's going on in the outskirts, right? It gets real foggy. And there's certain points that they look at. So sometimes they call it, but there's not fog. I live right by Jackson. There's not fog around here.
Right.
So you're keeping almost 6,000 kids home when there might only be fog in the outskirts.
Right.
I mean, that's just one possibility.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a thought that now that's kind of talked that, hey man, why is everybody staying home if it's not foggy in certain parts of the city? So anyway,
And how many foggy days have we had?
we don't even have that many,
What,
man.
like 2 or 3 this year?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
So all of this hubbub over 2 or 3 days, 4 days.
Mm.
Well, and the big thing is what I've heard, what I've seen is the teachers union is saying, oh, the time is already built into the schedule, right? So we already have that time. Okay, well, wait a minute, because our scores are in the tank, then that gives us
That's another
More
reason.
motivation.
yeah, well,
to
that
be
gives
a-
us extra time now.
To work with the kids.
Right, we got
with the
extra
kids.
time.
Kids are priority.
Let's work on it.
And I'll be honest too, that reminds me of, well, that's another reason why this all started, is because our scores were so bad. I mean, we're 18 out of 20 out of 21 on the California dashboard when you add up ELA and MAT. 18 out of the 21 surrounding areas. So we, at the time when this first came out, they wanted more instructional time with the kids,
Right.
and that's what it's supposed to all be about. It's supposed to be.
Well, there's your extra time.
Yeah.
Show up for work and instruct the kids.
Yeah. So I guess for anybody watching, if you ever hear about Foggy Day being canceled, that's not true. That basically it
Gives us the right as a
yeah.
parent.
Oh yeah. So basically a parent right, but
Well, it's
you
an
say
income-
the half truth.
It's an incomplete sentence. Foggy days are canceled for the staff. That would be
For the part that got to stay home.
right for the part that gets to stay home.
Basically
so that
teachers.
would be a complete sentence.
Yeah.
So maybe we need to go
plain-
back and
plain
learn how to
word.
make complete sentences, right?
Yeah, you gotta play word games, man.
Or we're doing it
Oh.
on purpose.
Yeah. So does this help the kids? Yes. It's about education.
Well, it helps the kids. It helps our families, our parents.
You work for the because we knew that lots of kids don't go to school when it's a foggy day.
Right.
And that's probably one of the reasons.
My representative, Nick Sahota, said it's about student achievement at the last meeting.
Well, you got some extra time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, think about it. So you got a parent that has to be at work at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, whatever. So now it's been foggy day's been called. The schools are open. They can still drop them off at school and they can go to work. The way it was, right? Schools were not open. That parent says, "Hey, man, I got to go to work. You're just going to have to stay home today." And they miss out on the whole day of learning.
And that happens.
So that,
And I think that now has become, that's what happens when the kids aren't put first.
oh,
You're open, so you want
right.
the schools open and you want everybody being taught.
Right.
For the kids, for the parents.
Right.
That's as simple as that. Everybody else is, it's not about the adults.
nope, absolutely not.
It's a job.
Absolutely.
It's a job.
You picked it, so go do your job.
Yeah, that's another thing, man. You know what? I've been told, hey, if you don't like it, you can go. That's the same for everybody else.
I'm a plumber. I get stuff on me all the time. Hey, I picked it, man.
Yeah, that's it, man.
I can't complain about it.
Oh, man.
You were given an opportunity in the district. Take it.
Take it, man.
Use the best of it for our kids.
Yeah.
So that's Foggy Day in a nutshell.
Yeah. Now, number two.
Number two, and we want.
I don't know much about number two, just a little. But.
And I've been digging around, looking into it too. We want to talk about Janus law. Okay, Janus law.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you're gonna have to lead this one, man.
So everything I've been looking at, and okay, so Janus law went through like what 4 years ago, I think it was something like that. And what that means is that it was by the Supreme Court, so it's national.
Yeah. So okay. So
So go ahead.
So basically, a union member. Now this is just information.
Right.
Just information.
And
check it out, Ms. Barrow. So I don't know if you ever heard of this. I just recently heard of it. This is some kind of law, so where a union member can be represented by their union, but not pay union dues.
Correct. They can opt out completely. So the way it used to be is if you were in that union, you had to pay dues to that union, and you're just a union member, right?
Yeah, and they represent you.
Right. Then you could, but then it was you could opt out, but you still had to pay that money, and you had to pay.
Oh, yeah.
There was a fair share, and they kept saying,
Yeah.
everything I've been seeing it says fair share, which is interesting because that verbiage keeps coming up a lot with. Anyway.
Yeah, activists.
Yeah. So, so then you still had to pay that money, but you could pay it to another organization, right, of your choosing, but the other organization you were going to pay it to had to be union approved. So the union had to say, okay, well, you can give it to blah, blah, blah.
So it's still a union.
Yeah, basically, the money's still going out.
But
The union dues.
then Janus law comes along, and they say you do not have to contribute to that money, to that union.
And they still have to take care of you.
And they
Represent
still
you,
have
right?
to represent you.
So yeah, so that's the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Is you can have representation whether you pay your dues or not.
Correct.
So you can opt out of being represented.
So you can keep,
not pay-
keep
your
all that
dues.
money, your dues, yeah.
Your dues.
I thought at that meeting that we went to, something was mentioned about that. About 7 or 8 teachers not being part of the union.
Oh yeah, that's
But
something
they still
different.
had to say they're representing them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what they said on that.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
you're talking about,
Yeah, so by law, the union still has to represent them because they're part of that
Gotcha.
bargaining unit or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's what that is. So anybody who would want out, remember we're just parents talking here, right?
Yeah.
Anybody who would want out of that union doesn't want to contribute to that.
Any union, yeah. Well, not any union.
You can now it's an opt-out system, so it means you have to.
Is it annual? Do you know?
To opt out? No, I think once you've opted out, you're out.
No, I mean, but is there a certain time where you can opt out, or
Oh,
you can
I
opt
think
out at
at any point. Yeah, I think you can opt out. So that's just we just started looking into it, but it's a really interesting case. It went to the Supreme Court. It's a national deal, and I'm sure that's being fought.
Yeah. So if I was a union guy, this is just my own personal thing. If I was a union guy, I'd be like, hey, you're representing me whether I pay you money or not.
Yeah, if you're going to get something, whether you pay for it, I mean, if I'm going to get a cheeseburger at McDonald's, whether I pay for it or not, I'm going to go through the drive-thru and get my free cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And keep the money.
So that's just fascinating. That's all we're trying to. give information on how it works.
Right. So it's interesting. So if you think.
And what's the case? What's the case law?
Janus.
Janus.
Yeah, it's Janus versus.
I'll send you information.
Yeah, and it's
I'll
got.
send
And
you.
we'll put some
Yeah.
information. Maybe if we can't figure out how to put it on the video, we'll put it in the comments.
Okay, yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But there's some really interesting stuff on there. So basically, whatever your dues are, you can put that right back in your pocket, and nothing changes.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. So if you're paying, you know, whatever, you know, 150 bucks a month, you opt out, you put that 150 back in your pocket,
Yeah.
and nothing changes.
Yeah. Wow,
You get to keep the money. That's how that would work, from everything I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's fascinating, man.
Wow, that's excellent.
Yeah.
So
That's a good topic. So we'll
it's an
research
interesting topic. For
Interesting.
Sure.
So we'll research it more and talk about it, because and I'm not talking about anything in particular, but I used to be part of a union, and if I didn't like what they were doing, and I still had to pay union dues, I'd be pissed.
Well, see, and that's how it started, right? Because this
You don't
guy,
believe in it. Oh, First Amendment, right?
well, it was a person. Yeah. So this guy Janus, whoever he was having to pay union dues. This is back, I think, in Illinois and Chicago. I think it
Yeah.
was. He's having to pay union dues, but then they're supporting things he didn't agree with,
Yeah.
but he still had to pay, and it was a
Yeah.
freedom of speech type deal.
Yeah. No, I could see that. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. It's an interesting case, and it set an interesting precedent when the Supreme Court ruled on that. So
Wow.
How old is that?
I think it's
court
about-
case, do you know?
That's
about 4
4
years,
years,
huh? And I never really heard about that until recently, and it's fascinating. I just started looking into it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember when it happened. I kind of forgot about it
Yeah.
but I'm not in I was in the construction area, you know.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
but
That's fascinating, though.
it's interesting.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, that's a big time deal to me.
It
so
is.
I don't know. For me personally, as a citizen, right? Remember,
Yeah.
we're just
Yeah, we're just
garage talking. If I could put an extra $100 in my pocket,
Why
I don't know.
not?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anybody that would
yeah.
step
Well,
over.
that's what I was saying. I can't remember what my dues were when I was part of the union where I worked. I think it was $20 a week or something. So it wasn't a lot, but it was $80. But if they were gonna have to take care of me anyway, I want my $80.
Yeah, I want my free $80, man.
Yeah. Especially if I didn't agree with it. You know what I mean?
Now,
agree with certain
if you buy in lock, stock, and barrel with what they're doing, hey, by all means, pay them the money.
Yeah.
Pay them the money. Support that cause. But I'd rather take that $100 or whatever my dues are,
Yeah.
and give it to a cause that I agree with 100%.
Yeah. I mean, that's one way to look at it. I get it, but I think it's an awesome law. Finally,
No, it is.
something that makes sense. It's coming out, man.
And so everything I'm looking at, it looks like it actually does make sense, man.
Yeah. No, I like that, man. I like that a lot. So anyway, just information, man.
Look,
Man, that's excellent.
Yeah,
The more you think about it, it's
Yeah,
great.
dude. That's the first time you heard of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. We just sprung it on you too. We were just talking about it before you pulled up. Going, hey, we're gonna spring this on you because you used to be part of the police union, right, in town?
Yeah, it's a little different because it has
Pay union dues though.
yes.
So dude.
Yeah.
So they would have to take care of you. Well, I don't know if I
There's
don't know.
probably other
It's
organizations.
different
It
because
might
of,
be,
it is.
Yeah. So I don't think it's for blanketed in every.
Because of legal
Certain-
representation
yeah,
of
yeah.
certain issues, but
Gotcha. But it's a fascinating law. I gotta look more into it.
wow, thank you.
Check it out, man.
Yeah, man. Check
It's out
it
there.
out, man.
Wow.
So it's called Janus Law, right?
Janus Law, yeah. Janus.
So find out something new with that, and then tell me
Foggy
the
days.
truth on the foggy days. That's the truth.
That's the truth.
Yeah, no one's canceling it for the schools.
No, for the
Might-
for the kids,
For the kids,
and the
no.
parents, we are not canceling. Those schools
No.
are open. If you want to take your kids in, you take them in, and they will be taken care of.
Awesome, man. I love it.
That's
That's what you're there for.
kids. That's putting kids priority.
Woo-hoo.
That's prioritizing our kids number one.
That's what happens when you prioritize them.
That's excellent.
Better things happen. Good things happen.
You're not getting fired up, are you?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, he scares me, man.
No, dude, it's awesome, man. It's awesome for some. It's awesome for our kids.
Yeah.
Right on.
All right,
Thank you-
man.
Thank you for
All right.
everybody that's been showing up to our schools at 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Cafeteria
yeah,
staff,
yeah.
our janitors, custodian, everybody.
Hey,
Thank
when you were the SRO, did you have a starting time?
Yeah.
How about if it was foggy? Did you have?
What do you I am a foggy day? What are you talking about?
Dude, I remember driving.
Our nurses, our doctors, they don't have foggy days.
Right.
Our police officers, our fire.
And if you call 911, they oh, it's
time
foggy day.
out, time out, foggy day, wake till 10. Come on, man, be a realistic
Wow.
here.
Oh, yeah. Hey, just to throw this out there, I think I read something about, well, it's been this way for a long time. Hey, that don't mean it's
That don't
good
mean it's
now.
right.
That doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah, yeah. It might have been not kids first for that many years.
Hey, we rode horses for a long time, too.
Right.
That would drive cars.
We had painters, now we have boats.
Yeah, dude.
We're moving
Yeah,
on.
it's a losing argument on the other side, man. Put our kids first.
That's it.
That's all I want to say.
And thank you for those people in the positions that are putting our kids first.
Yeah,
Right.
man.
Means a lot.
It takes a lot to try to break from the norm, right? I mean, you're finding out when you're on there and when you go to the meetings, and you know, as we do research and we see what's up and watching the meetings, you're like, dude. I mean, there's always stumbling blocks, man. But you always got to be striving for what's better for the kids.
That's
Makes
it.
sense.
That's
Yeah.
Bottom line. That's why.
Bottom line, man.
That's why we're out here on a Sunday morning.
Sunday morning,
and
get your
it's
face
about
down.
student achievement.
That's it, man.
My representative said that.
You, Mr. Sahota, said that, and that whole board, hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
And that's what I gathered from watching them. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's student achievement.
Yeah, I saw that meeting too. You were at the meeting. He was at the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I just brought that up because you were at the meeting.
Yeah, no, I made a motion or a request for the wrestling facility to be put on the agenda.
Oh, you made a request. Oh, that's
Mhm.
right.
So
saw
hopefully that gets put in.
Mm.
It's a long time coming, 40, 50 years that should have been addressed. You know,
So all you want to do is talk about it, right? You want a discussion.
legitimately talk about
You
it,
want a
not just let
discussion.
somebody vent
Yeah.
and then they go away. Well,
they go
what are we
away.
going to do about it?
Yeah, yeah. You want a
Because
real discussion.
in my history that I've watched, not only with that topic, but any topic, the board sits there, they listen to people vent, they talk amongst each other, they'll go away. Not that that's happening, but I'm not naive. They go away, they'll go away. Well, we're not going to go away.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you shouldn't go away.
And,
We-
you know,
yeah.
it's part of some that needs to be amplified, and our kids need to be recognized throughout the nation, even throughout the world.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
because of their achievements.
Yeah, it's
in-
actually
in that sport, and not only that sport, band, Mexican dance, arts, everything. If we have the money to give away for other reasons, why not give it to our kids? Give it to our kids directly. Build them the facilities they need. You know, it's pretty simple, man. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, it's reactionary to the parents.
Yeah.
To the community. Yeah, if they're going there asking for an item,
Why not?
why not, man?
You
Get
spent
involved.
50 grand on or 50 million for 10 years that didn't work. We're
Right?
number 18.
18, man.
Come
Talking about
on,
intervention.
man.
18 out of 21.
Come on.
Close
You
your
wanna
ears.
get
Close your
fired up on
ears.
a
Mr.
Sunday, dude.
Fito.
Jeez.
Close your ears, man. We're 18 out of 21. But look at what we pay. Oh,
Dude,
man.
you're paying for a Ferrari, and I'm driving a Pinto
with a flat
that I used to
tire.
get dropped off in 7th grade.
With a
Come on,
flat
man.
tire, man.
Come on,
Damn.
man. Someone
Yeah.
deserves better. Our kids deserve better, and they will get it. We're not going away. It's gonna happen one way or another.
Power to the people.
See?
Power to the people.
And the more our families come together and go to the meetings and express their wants, that's what we want.
Well,
Doesn't
we're-
necessarily need to be wrestling.
Yeah.
Anything.
Anything. Well, you said Mr. Sahota is your rep.
He is my rep.
You call him
And-
up. Hey,
and-
this is what I want.
And he said student achievement, you know, is priority. Hey man,
There you go.
get them to class, get them to school, open the doors, and let's educate them as soon as possible.
And you want to see a reflection on scores.
Oh, no,
Oh,
absolutely.
did you tell me somebody told you scores don't matter?
Oh, dude, man, it does. Yeah.
100% it does.
Oh, not all parents think scores matter. Yes.
So a rep, right? Somebody that
Yes.
works at the district said
Yes.
that in front of you.
in front of me,
Can
in
you
front of Mr. Sahota.
Hey, can you imagine telling a child that studies?
No, my kid asked me,
Right.
Dude, that's. Let me just say this. That's disgusting.
dude, that's
The more I think about it, because I've had some people say, "Well, that's not." No. The more I think about it, how do you knowledge check anywhere? Anybody that became an administrator, a teacher, a plumber, a cop, got your
Contractor,
license.
yeah.
Dude, that's knowledge checking. That's why you test.
You got to know.
Are they going to stop doing it now? No, you do it all year, and then you do the state test.
Hey, maybe I'll do that with the contractor's license board and say, hey, scores don't matter.
Scores don't matter. Why are you testing me, man?
It does matter, man. It does matter.
Hey, as a parent, were you pissed when you heard that?
Well, I was shocked I heard it. I couldn't believe it. Like,
Right.
what do you mean? You had to go take a test to get into university. What are you talking about? My kid gets tested every week.
Yeah. I think people that say that, they probably have weak scores, or they're in a district that's not doing well, and they're trying to justify why they want so much.
Well, there's no justification for failing our kids.
Yeah, and that's what's
Period.
happening. Yeah.
There's no justification why our kids are failing.
So this is outside opinion now as a dad, man. We got a lot of good people, a lot of good teachers, a lot of
absolutely.
good administrators, but we got some bad ones too. And when
It's
you
like
look,
every profession.
oh yeah, and you look at the money and the resources that Selma Unified over the before Mr. Fedora, over the last decade, have poured into it for the scores that we got, it's horrendous. Horrendous, and I believe that starts with management. Management not staying on top of what's going on.
Right.
You know. So anyway,
Accountability, man.
that's what it comes down to. Accountability. If you're gonna get paid well, then show us something.
Show the kids.
Show the kids.
Show the kids. They
You got
deserve it.
Kingsburg High can do it. Kingsburg Elementary and
Clovis, Sanger.
Clovis. Yeah, Sanger's doing really well now. That's where we want. That's what we want
Let's get there. We want that for our kids.
for the kids. Garage Talk, 3 dads. Oh, I love it.
And their kids.
And their kids. So it's about the
generational.
future.
It's not today,
It's the
tomorrow.
future,
It's
man.
generational.
Yeah, I've got grandkids in the district. Grandkids in the district.
Yeah. See, dang, dude. It's awesome, bro.
Kids are priority, man.
So I think if more
It's
parents,
not gonna stop.
It's not going to stop. Just got to get more parents involved. More parents to know what's going on.
Right.
So the Foggy Day deal, that's going to come around again because somebody's making it a big issue. And it is a big issue. Get to school and work. They ain't going to like that I said that, but who cares?
It's your opinion as a dad.
My opinion.
What dad wouldn't want the best for their kid, son or daughter?
Yeah. It is what it is. All right, man.
Thanks,
Thanks
y'all.
guys. Sunday morning, man.